Yeah, so check it out. This is Boxboy 420, and I got a free piece of cardboard that they gave me to make a sign. So I wrote this, you know, since I'm the founder of T.V.C.P. But on the back, I wrote this. And for those of you who wonder what that's about, and want to know the whole reason why I'm fighting, is I'm not somebody who just wants to do stuff to feel special. I'm not somebody who's trying to make false hope for you guys. I'm someone who wants to get through this having gone through it. Yeah. On my 8th birthday, day before my 8th birthday, exactly 1 year after the first time I was let out, after the first time I went into foster care, we celebrated my 8th birthday a day early. And they wouldn't tell me why, but I was wondering, why are we celebrating my birthday a day early? Well, the very next day, Mom woke me, my sister, my brother up and said, "Come on, kids, we're going to court." And we knew exactly what court she was talking about. Just because we were kids, we weren't dumb. Like, for some reason, the DHS system thought. And, well, the judge had my sister take me out to this area they called the playroom because they thought I was too young, too naive, when I already knew the whole reason why we were in court. It wasn't my first time not living with my parents. The first time I was taken away, I didn't even go to foster care. I had a loving grandma who picked me up before the state had a chance. He picked me, my sister, and my brother up before they had a chance to take us to foster care. And that was the day my parents went to jail. Now, the crimes that they were accused, I'm not going to mention because, it's stuff they did. And if they want people to know, then, they could tell it. I'm not gonna. But, when, what I'm getting at is, I never knew what a home really was. Age 3, parents already get arrested, and I'm living at my aunt and uncle's. And this is the first time I got to experience racism. I got this little toy fire truck that my grandma gave to me, saying it was for my mom. And they had these little firemen that clicked on there. And they had white firemen, they had brown firemen, they had black firemen. She let me keep the white firemen, but she made me throw the brown and the black ones into the fireplace. And at this time, I was already 4 years old. And I asked her why, because I didn't see anything wrong with them. I didn't, to me, I thought they were just other firemen that came at the set. And this is exactly one of the problems we have with kids these days. She told me, because the brown and black firemen, well, she said it so a 4-year-old could understand. She said the brown and black firemen were icky and made me throw them in the fireplace. And she made, you know, my, she made, my other siblings yell out the N-word at black people as we drove by and said, if you don't move, I'll beat you. That's what she said. In fact, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Scappoose, Oregon, but those of you who know about Vernonia Highway, there's a whole bunch of sticker bushes that go right along Vernonia Highway. That's what she used to discipline us with. She'd make us go pick out the biggest branch. One day she made me walk out barefoot into it. My sister and brother, I never really told them this. In fact, this is the first time I ever told anyone. I'm actually surprised I'm letting this out. It was crap I kept bottled up inside for a while. But, she made me go out and grab the biggest one. And once she did, she wasn't satisfied with it. And so she made me go back and get another one. Once again, barefoot. She wanted to watch me walk through it. The stickers before I went and picked a branch. And I finally got to live back with my mom and dad. Like halfway through the age of 4. And got to spend kindergarten year with them. This is first year I actually got to go to school. Had my run-in with bullies as I'm sure every kid goes through. And first grade hit. That's when the first time I got taken away. And it's weird how people could act like this. You guys are, you're thinking I'm ungrateful because I wasn't grateful that somebody actually cared and got me out of that situation. Let me tell you something about my parents. Yeah, they did what they did, and they used a lot of what they did to provide food for me, my sister, and my brother. They did what they had to survive. And above all, what they did to do that, they knew better than to do it in front of us. In fact, I really wasn't naive when I was a kid. I knew they were up to something every time I walk in the room and Dad say, hey, hide the stuff. He didn't want me to be exposed to that. And he succeeded in that for the longest time. I didn't even know what drugs was until the dare officer came into school. And afterwards, it's like dealing with realization on stuff. It was actually kind of a hurtful moment because they taught us how people who did this stuff were evil. I knew my parents. And really, I don't believe in violence. But if you try to tell me my parents are evil, I will knock your teeth in. Because I know them better. And no one can take that away from me. And yet, the second time, and I turned 6, went to foster care for the first time. Ended up with this, like, abusive lady. You know, for some reason, we'd get in trouble for, well, we don't know. We'd just be just chilling, and then suddenly we're in trouble. We don't know what it was. And if you stood up to her, well, shit, that was taboo. And then, at least in her book. And then, the next time I got to put in my second foster home. And by this time, well, actually, for the longest time, they were trying to get me into special ed classes. What they didn't know was the reason why I wasn't keeping up with those other kids was when they taught me, when they were teaching me, addition and subtraction. In my mind, I already had fractions. By 3rd grade, I already knew algebra. I just didn't know there was a name for this yet. Because nobody was willing to check to see if I was actually more ahead than behind. I actually, curricular, was behind. But in here, 3rd grade, already able to do algebra. And like I was a crazy kid, always running around. But when I wasn't running around, I heard about this guy named Einstein, and how his teachers thought he was retarded, and then he discovered E equals MC squared. Now picture this. This is by the time I'm in 4th grade. A 4th grader trying to contemplate, the relevance of the equation. I pretty much figured it out, and I won't explain it to you because once I figured it out, I took it as kind of an insult to my intelligence. Which, I could tell you this much, once you actually take a second and dissect it, there ain't a single person in here that would be like, really, that's it? And, anyways, by the time, I know I was a kind of a bastard kid, and actually by 4th grade, 3rd and 4th grade, I was living with my Aunt Michelle, and in 5th grade, she decided she couldn't take care of me. It's a very hurtful moment in my life. But while she did have me in custody, she fought as hard and hard to keep me off of them pills, like Ritalin. Because, she remembered the promises they gave my mom. And the outcome that came into. Which, oddly enough, the outcome hit me too. Just as I argued with the state and they said, that's not why she did what she did. Maybe it didn't force it to do it, but it definitely laid out the red carpet to lead the way. Anyways, by the time I got to my 3rd foster home,